This is WBBM Chicago Newsradio 78, 1 minute, 10 seconds after the hour of 6. We are abandoning our network service, abandoning our log at WBBM. I'm Len Walter.
And I'm Dale McCarran. One witness to the crash saying that immediately after the takeoff, about 15 seconds, part of the left engine blew.
There was a loud rumbling noise. I got up from my desk, and I could see this plane hovering, going from side to side, and then it just kind of did a nosedive. There was a large burst of flames and then a lot of heavy black smoke. Plane could have been taking off and then just went straight down again.
Let's go to the telephone. On it with me now is Mary Rose Noel of American Airlines. Mary Rose, what's the latest from your vantage point?
Well, we've established the fact that it was American Airlines Flight 191, which is a DC-10, and it was originating in Chicago to Los Angeles. The flight departed about 3:04 p.m. and shortly after that, shortly after takeoff, it had its accident. There were 272 passengers on board, 257 passengers on board, plus a crew of 15, 5 in the cockpit and 10 flight attendants.
Division 8, the main.
Division 8, go ahead.
That DC-10 apparently crashed on takeoff. Give us a box.
I was the afternoon editor on that day, and it was just before 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I heard on the police radio the words, "Plane crash at O'Hare."
Disaster Plan 3, O'Hare Field.
Bob Crawford, our City Hall reporter, was sent to the place where they were marshaling the ambulances for those that were injured. A chill went down my spine when I heard Bob say on the air, it has become clear that the ambulances are no longer needed. There are no survivors.
Dale, let's go back to the two-way radio and WBBM's Don Perlman out there. Don?
They are starting to move some of the bodies away from the crash site. We talked about half an hour ago with Ed McAvoy, who is a safety investigator for the National Transportation Safety Board, and he confirmed that the flight recorder has been found, and apparently it is in good condition. Here is some of the interview as reporters gathered around and talked to Ed McAvoy with the National Transportation Safety Board right at the crash site.
Right now we're making the most sincere effort to get the people out of here. That is our first concern. And Dr. Stein has requested that, as all accidents, you mark where the people were so we know what happened. And that is going on right now. We'll be picking up valuables. I'm securing the area for our catastrophic team that is Department of Washington will be in here at 9 o'clock this evening. This is described the worst disaster in the history. Looking at it out here, it looks like you got a terrible job of identifying anything. Can you confirm that from being out there?
That was Ed McAvoy, who is with the National Transportation Safety Board. He said that a team of investigators from Washington will be in the Chicago area at around 9 o'clock this evening. Near the crash site on 2E Avenue, this is Don Perlman.
The area that they were talking about for the National Transportation Safety Board, which is northwest of the airport where the plane crashed, is designated now a safety zone with restrictions on building. The area to the southeast is more heavily populated. One witness to the crash seems to substantiate what Bob Crawford was talking about, saying that immediately after the takeoff, about 15 seconds, part of the left engine blew. That's a quote. There was a dense cloud of white smoke, or maybe steam, and it got worse, and then the plane hit the ground, and flames were all around.
The left wing dug a path, and as soon as it collapsed and it hit the ground, the spark set off the jet fuel, and this whole place was nothing but a sheet of flame.
Okay, can you give us any idea what do you have out there? Because we got a trailer park involved and an aircraft that went down.
As I was heading out to Central and Mount Prospect, where it happened, ambulances and fire engines are passing me on the way out. I got out there, and there was nothing. I mean, everybody just stood around looking at the devastation and realizing there was nobody to take to the hospital.
It's a terrible sight. The commissioner was just saying, that you come out here thinking, you're going to be of help. The best 20 crews of doctors arrived here within, minutes, and you don't need them.
From the crash site, the bodies were taken by police wagon to the temporary morgue at a nearby American Airlines hangar. The bodies will remain there until examined by the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. Meanwhile, at the O'Hare terminal, relatives and friends wait behind these doors at American's First Class Lounge. Many of those waiting relatives were still at the airport when flight number 191 crashed.
The boat that I have in my hand is the boat that came off the aircraft. It reflects a fatigue crack and then subsequent to that, total failure of the bolt. We have a piece of evidence that indicates that this bolt failed, probably setting in motion the loss of the engine on the aircraft.
Another airline employee here who refused to be interviewed on tape said it was the feeling of mechanics here in the hangar area that apparently the engine on the plane may have malfunctioned and exploded and therefore was blown off the wing and did not fall off. That is only speculation. It is based upon the sighting of the aircraft in trouble by one of the employees here in the hangar area. Back to you, Len.
Thank you very much, Bob. We appreciate that. WBBM's Bob Crawford.
There is no licensing or certification procedure of any sort to provide for an aircraft flying without an engine. It would unquestionably fly, and very safely, without the power of an engine. But there is no certification procedure for flying without a whole engine assembly on it. There is no pilot training to deal with that eventuality. No aircraft has ever been in the air under that circumstance. There's no reason to think that once the airplane comes off the airframe, that it would fly. There is no way to tell how long an investigation takes. This has the appearance of having complex mechanical aspects to the incident, and I think it's going to take a little while to put all the pieces back together.